It is not visible.
Hello, screen is not visible.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Hello.
Now visible, sir.
Okay. Okay, so good morning all. So I have sent a mail to you about this video. So what we are going to do in this lecture, we are going for a diesel engine and diesel cycle. Okay, so first we should know what is the difference between petrol engine and diesel engine. So especially in case of diesel engine, the heat addition takes place at a constant pressure, and for adding the heat, there is a fuel injector is used. In case of petrol engine, we are using a spark plug, but in case of diesel engine, we are using a fuel injector. Okay, and air is compressed alone during the suction stroke, and at the end of suction stroke, at the end of compression stroke, the fuel is injected inside the cylinder. Okay, that is the difference. In case of petrol engine, air and fuel mixture, it is supplied by a carburetor, it is compressed, and then at the end of compression, the heat is added by spark plug. But in case of diesel engine, air is compressed alone, and at the end of compression, at constant pressure, the heat is added. Okay, so whenever you get the time, you can go through this video once again. Now what we are doing, we are going for the cycle on which this diesel engine works, and why the diesel engines are having the higher performance or higher efficiency, or you can say higher power. So if you see the application point of view, for carrying heavy loads, we are using the diesel engines. For example, trucks, if you observe trucks, bus, even the JCB, like these vehicles are fitted with the diesel engines. So what is the reason behind this? Because diesel engines are producing more power and they are having the higher efficiency. As well as if you see the maintenance of a diesel engine, it is on the higher side compared to petrol engine. So for lighter applications, we are using for a petrol vehicles, and for heavier applications, we are going for a diesel engines. For ships as well as for railways also, if you can see, the diesel engines are attached. So now we have to see how this diesel engine works, or what is the cycle on which it is worked, how to find out the performance of this diesel cycle, and how to improve the performance of the diesel cycle, that we are going to see. So yes, is it clear? Yes, Parth. Hello.
Yes, sir, clear.
Yes, Vaibhav. Okay.
Yes, sir, clear.
Yes, sir, clear.
Thank you. So I will request you to once again go through this video whenever you get the time. Okay. Yes. Because in the interviews, whenever you are going for any interviews or any computer examination, these things will be asked. So we are going for ideal diesel cycle, or the second name is constant pressure diesel cycle. Now why it is given a name of constant pressure? Because the heat addition takes place at constant pressure instead of constant volume in case of Otto cycle. Okay, so as usual, we are going to represent this cycle on PV diagram as well as TS diagram. Why? The reason is known to you, because work done we are getting from the formula integration of P into dV. So that's why our interest is to find out the change in pressure and volume to get the work done. Okay, so on the screen you can have this PV diagram of the diesel engine. So we will start it from, on the y-axis we have pressure and x-axis we have volume. So we'll start from point 0 here. Just a minute. Okay. So we have here clearance volume. Already we have seen the clearance volume as so we have V2 as a clearance volume. This is VC clearance volume, and V1 minus V2 is the swept volume. V1 minus V2 is swept volume, and total volume is Vs plus Vc. Okay, that already we have seen. Now we'll start from point 1. So 0 to 1 is suction stroke. 0 to 1 is suction stroke. The piston moves from TDC to BDC. The inlet wall is open. The air is sucked by the engine by the engine. Okay, the air is sucked by the engine. So during process 0 to 1, then at point 1, the both inlet and exhaust wall are closed. So process 0 to 1 is called as a suction process. Inlet wall is open due to pressure difference between outside air and inside air. Inside is the negative pressure, so air is sucked. Okay, air is sucked. So up to 0.1, the suction stroke will be there. Now at 0.1, the piston is at BDC. Now we'll start process 1 to 2. So if you observe, the process 1 to 2 is an adiabatic compression process. It is an adiabatic compression process. So why it is called as adiabatic compression? Because in an ideal case, we are assuming that the piston and cylinder and cylinder head, it is insulated from the surrounding. There is no heat absorption and there is no heat rejection with respect to surrounding. So 1 to 2 is compression process. The piston moves from BDC to TDC. The piston starts to move from, here it is BDC, bottom dead center. Piston starts to move from BDC to TDC. So if you observe, the volume is going on decreasing from V1 to V2, and the pressure is going to rise from P1 to P2. So this is called as a isentropic or adiabatic compression process. Okay. Now you may say, why there is a need of compression? By compressing the air, we are increasing the capacity of the air to do the work. We are increasing the strength of air so that it can do more and more amount of work. Now here we have seen the term compression ratio, and we are denoting by a letter R. So compression ratio is equal to V1 upon V2. Means compression volume at the start of compression to the volume at the end of the compression. So process 1 to 2 is the adiabatic compression process. Now at point 2, the both valves are closed, inlet as well as exhaust, both valves are closed at point 2, and here the injector is there, fuel injector is there, which is going to inject the fuel inside the cylinder. Okay, so 2 to 3 is the heat addition process, which takes place at a constant pressure. Now the injector pressure remains constant. At the same time, to keep the pressure constant of the air, there is a small movement of piston is there from V2 to V3. So if you observe, the piston moves from V2 to V3 to keep the pressure constant. So here during the process 2 to 3, we are supplying the heat QS. So QS is the heat supplied during the process 2 to 3, and that amount of heat supplied is equal to mass of the air into Cp of air into change in temperature of air. So temperature increases from T2 to T3, T2 to T3. So T3 minus T2 is the amount of heat supplied during the constant pressure heat addition process. One more parameter we are introducing here, and that parameter is called as a rho. Rho is called as a cutoff ratio. Rho is called as a cutoff ratio. So what is this cutoff ratio? Now at point 2, the fuel injection starts, and at point 3, the fuel injection ends. Okay, this fuel injector starts to inject the fuel at point 2 and ends at point 3. So the ratio of the volume at which the point at which the fuel injection stops to the point at which the fuel injection ends to the point at which the fuel injection starts. So ratio of volume at which the injection ends to the injection starts, that particular ratio is called as a cutoff ratio, and it is taken into account by a rho. So your efficiency of diesel cycle along with compression ratio R, it depends upon the cutoff ratio rho. Okay, because you may start the injection at point 2 and you may end the injection at point 3 dash. Okay, so how much percentage of stroke, distance between TDC and BDC is called as a stroke. How much percentage of stroke we have to utilize for the fuel injection? Based on that also your performance of diesel engine works. So rho is the parameter on which the efficiency of diesel engine also depends. So this is about the process 2 to 3. Now at the end of point 3, now fuel is injected, it will start to burn, and because of the burning of fuel, the high pressure is developed inside the engine, and due to this high pressure, there is an impact on the piston, and due to this impact, piston starts to move in the downward direction. Okay, so if you observe, some portion of the stroke, it is utilized for fuel injection, this much. And at this point, from this point, piston starts to move in the downward direction due to the impact of the your burnt fuel. So the process 3 to 4 is called as the expansion process, where the work is done by the burnt gases on the piston and we are getting the output power. So it is called as a power stroke or also expansion stroke. So 3 to 4 is the expansion stroke. It is an adiabatic expansion stroke or isentropic expansion stroke. So we can use the formula of adiabatic process or isentropic process. Okay. So at the up to end of, you can say, process 3 to 4, that is at point 4, now the exhaust wall is open. Exhaust wall is open, and at constant volume, the heat is rejected to the surrounding. Or at constant volume, the burnout gases are removed from the cylinder. So 4 to 1 is the constant volume heat rejection process. An amount of heat rejected, it is given by, again, the mass of working medium into CV of the working medium. Now CV is coming into act because constant volume process is there, into T4 minus T1. Okay. So by this way we can find out the amount of heat rejection. Again the cycle is going to continue. Okay. So this is about the diesel cycle on a PV diagram. In the same way we can plot it on the TS diagram. Yes. So I need any doubt is there from your side. If you have any doubt regarding the any process. Yes. Vedant, Vaibhav.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Shall I repeat once again? I will go, or we will move ahead.
We can
In
move ahead,
short,
sir. Once again, little.
I am going to repeat it. Okay. Yes. 0 to 1 is suction process. Inlet wall open, outlet wall is closed. The air is sucked inside the cylinder. 1 to 2 is adiabatic compression. Adiabatic compression. Air is compressed. Compression ratio R is equal to V1 by V2. This is the first process. Second process, 2 to 3. Constant pressure heat addition QS. Small movement of piston is required from 2 to 3. Amount of heat addition is given by MCP into T3 minus T2. Then we are introducing one more parameter, that is rho, which is called as a cutoff ratio, which is V3 by V2. Okay. So the laws or governing equation for constant pressure process we can use here. Like for constant pressure process, we can write मी कधी बाहेर पडलो सांगू शकाल का? हॅलो.
सर थोडा वेळ पहिलेच पडले सर बाहेर, ते आवाज
ओके
येत नव्हता.
नाही कॉलेजमध्ये नेट डिस्कनेक्ट होतं सारखं. सो ओके ठीक आहे. Okay. Now we have to find out the efficiency of diesel cycle. So the efficiency of diesel cycle is given by the term, if you observe, 1 minus 1 upon r raised to gamma minus 1 into bracket rho raised to gamma minus 1 divided by gamma into rho minus 1. So can you tell me what about this term 1 minus 1 upon r raised to gamma? Yes, can you say something about this term? Yes.
Efficiency of the cycle.
Efficiency of Otto cycle. It is correct. So 1 minus 1 upon r raised to gamma minus 1 is the efficiency of Otto cycle, multiplied by rho raised to gamma minus 1 divided by उसको आपने multiply करना है. So this formula you need to by heart. So if you observe, the efficiency of diesel cycle is equal to efficiency of Otto cycle multiplied by this bracketed term. That is rho raised to gamma minus 1 divided by gamma into rho minus 1. So the bracketed term is never, you can say, less than 1, or it is having some value. So that's why the efficiency of the diesel cycle is always greater than the Otto cycle. Okay, so it is having the value more than 1. So if you multiply this by 1 upon r raised to gamma minus 1, so it is generally the efficiency of diesel cycle will be higher than the efficiency of the Otto cycle. Now, what is rho? What is rho? Yes, anybody?
V3 by V2.
Yeah, it is
Cutoff
called a
ratio.
cutoff rate. Yes, good. So this is a
Cutoff ratio.
yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So here during the heat addition at constant pressure, air expands from volume V2 to V3, doing some work as fuel injection commences at V2 and cut off at V3. So which is called as a cutoff point. So the V3 by V2 is called as a cutoff ratio, and it is denoted by rho. Okay. Now here one more consideration is there. The diesel engines are more efficient because they work at higher compression ratio. They work at higher compression ratio because what is happening in the diesel engines during suction stroke, we are going to suck air alone, and at the end of compression we are injecting the fuel. So in that case, we can increase the compression ratio. But in case of petrol engine, we are supplying the mixture of air plus fuel in the combustion chamber. And because of this air plus fuel mixture, this mixture may be auto-ignite before addition of heat from spark plug. And because of that, there is a limitation is there for a compression ratio of petrol engine. It is up to 12 or max to 14. But for a diesel engine, we can go to a compression ratio up to a 22 also. Okay, so we can get the higher power with a higher efficiency in case of diesel engine. The reason behind, in case of diesel engine, we are compressing air alone, while in case of petrol engine, we are compressing air plus fuel mixture. So that's why if you observe, for heavy vehicles or for like a Jeep, Mahindra Jeep, the diesel engines are fitted 24 even 2400 cc like that. And one more thing is there, compression ratio and expansion ratio. These are not same in case of diesel engine, but in case of Otto cycle, these are remaining same. Because if you observe here, expansion ratio is V4 by V3 and compression ratio is V1 by V2. So both are different. Expansion ratio is V4 by V3 and compression ratio is V2 by V1. But if you see in case of Otto cycle, here this is the Otto cycle. So where we have same expansion and compression ratio. So that are different in case of a diesel cycle or diesel engine. Okay. So these are the some points related with the diesel engine. So compared to the, you can say, Otto cycle, the diesel engine is more efficient because in case of diesel engine, the bracketed term is always higher than 1. So whatever the bracketed term is we have, it is always higher than 1. So because of that, the efficiency of the diesel cycle, it is lower than Otto cycle. For a same compression ratio, it is lower than Otto cycle. But if we can increase the compression ratio, the efficiency of diesel engine is higher. That's why if you see the diesel engines are more efficient than the Otto cycle. Okay. So with this now diesel engine, we are going for a next cycle, which is called as a dual combustion cycle, or it is also called as a limited pressure cycle. Now sometimes what is happening, sometimes especially in case of you can say military vehicles, okay, military vehicles, jeeps or whatever maybe the vehicles are there, like tanks are there, military tanks, okay. So in that tanks, generally these engines are developed to work on any type of fuel, because suppose some type of fuel is not available, so whatever the available fuel is there, that you have to burn and you have to run your tanks. So for this purpose, this dual combustion cycle is developed. Suppose mostly they are working on a diesel engines, but sometimes by some way the diesel is not available. So in that case, whatever the edible oil is available, okay, edible oil, म्हणजे खायचं तेल is available. So that can be also used, and you have to run the engine, because for the petrol and diesel we are dependent on the Gulf countries. If during a warship they stop the supply of this petrol and diesel or crude oil, then whatever the indigenous oil available with us, vegetable oil, that we have to use, and we have to run the tanks. So for this purpose, these dual combustion cycles are developed. So we are going for a dual combustion cycles. So it is a combination of, you can say, Otto and diesel cycle. So if you observe this dual combustion cycle on a PV diagram, so as usual, process 0 to 1 is the suction process. 0 to 1 is the suction process. Then 1 to 2 is adiabatic compression. Here air is alone is compressed in the cylinder. The inlet and outlet wall, exhaust wall are closed. Compression ratio is V1 by V2. Then at point 2, the heat addition takes place at constant volume. So 2 to 3 is the constant volume heat addition. The piston is at TDC. There is no movement of piston. The volume is remaining constant. Pressure is going to rise, as well as the temperature is going to rise. Then 3 to 4 is constant pressure heat addition. Okay, there is a spark plug is there, as well as fuel injector is there. So at point 3, the fuel injection starts. At point 4, the fuel injection ends. So 3 to 4 is the constant pressure heat addition. Okay, and then 4 to at point 4. At point 4 also both walls are closed. Both walls are closed. So 4 to 5 is the expansion process. It is adiabatic expansion. Work is done by the burning fuel on the piston. So we are getting a power output. Then 5 to 1 is the constant volume heat rejection process. Okay. So in this way, this dual cycle is going to work. Okay. So once again, I'm going to repeat it. The dual cycle. So generally, the dual cycles are used. Generally, the dual cycles are used for military applications or military vehicles, where we require to run the military vehicle with available fuels. So heat is supplied partly at constant volume and partly at constant pressure. Okay. So in practical, you can say in case of our commercial vehicles for public utilization, we are not using the dual cycle. But in some cases for military applications, we are using these dual cycles. So 1 to 2 process is the suction process. Sorry, 0 to 1 is the suction process. 1 to 2 is the adiabatic compression. 2 to 3, the heat addition at constant volume. Then 3 to 4, heat addition at constant pressure. 4 to 5 is adiabatic expansion. 5 to 1, constant volume heat rejection process, and the cycle is going to continue. So if you find out the efficiency of this cycle, the heat supplied is equal to heat supplied at constant volume plus heat supplied at constant pressure, and heat rejected will be heat rejected at constant volume. So we can find out the efficiency of this particular dual cycle. Okay. Now if you see the formula of the efficiency of dual cycle, it is 1 minus 1 upon r raised to gamma minus 1 into bracket alpha into rho raised to gamma minus 1 divided by alpha minus 1 plus gamma into alpha into rho minus 1. Okay. Now you may say, what is this alpha? Now this alpha is called as a pressure ratio. Alpha is called as a pressure ratio during this constant volume heat addition. So alpha is equal to P3 by P2. Alpha is equal to P3 by P2, that is pressure ratio. And rho is cutoff ratio. Rho is equal to V4 by V3. V4 by V3 is rho. And compression ratio, you are knowing V1 by V2 is the compression ratio. Okay. So by this way, we can find out the efficiency of the dual cycle. So dual cycle, on dual cycle, there is no numerical treatment is there. Only you have to prepare from theoretical point of view. So you should know what is cutoff ratio, what is compression ratio, what is pressure ratio. Okay. Then what are the processes involved in the dual cycle? Okay. What about the thermal analysis of dual cycle? So you have to prepare with respect to dual cycle. So these are the formulas of the 3 cycles. For Otto cycle, 1 minus 1 upon r raised to gamma minus 1. For diesel cycle, 1 minus 1 upon r raised to gamma minus 1 into bracket rho raised to gamma minus 1 divided by gamma into rho minus 1. And for diesel cycle, we have this formula. Okay. Yes. So now we are going for a numerical based on the diesel cycle. So I am expecting that you should use a notebook and pen and calculator to solve the numericals. Otherwise, only I am going to discuss the things, and the things may not be clear to you if you are not doing on your own. Okay. Yes, I need answers from you. So if there is no doubt in diesel cycle, we'll go for a numerical based on the diesel cycle. Yes, Sejal, Tanmay, any
No doubt,
doubt?
sir.
Okay. So I will ask only one question. What is the difference between the Otto cycle and diesel cycle? At least minimum these things you should know. What is the difference between Otto cycle and diesel cycle? Yes, anybody?
Sir, there is no spark plug in diesel cycle.
There is no spark plug in diesel engine. Instead of that, there is a fuel injector is there. Okay, correct. Any other difference? Anybody?
So Otto cycle is constant volume process and diesel cycle is constant process, constant pressure
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah, very good, Tanmay. That's very good. In Otto cycle, the heat is added at constant volume, and in diesel cycle, the heat is added at constant pressure. Okay. Yes, one more question I will ask. Why the efficiency of diesel engine is higher compared to petrol engines or Otto cycle? It is related with compression ratio. Anybody? Yes,
The compression ratio for diesel engine is higher
Yes, correct, Vedant.
That's why
So
efficiency increases for a diesel engine.
या बिकॉज जितना हम कंप्रेशन रेशियो बढ़ाएंगे उतना एयर की स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ेगी. If you are going to increase the compression ratio, the strength of the air is going to increase, and that air has to do the work in the next process. So we can increase the compression ratio up to 22 in diesel engines, but in case of Atto cycle, we are limited to 14 only. The reason behind that is due to detonation or knocking that you are going to study in the IC engine subject. Right now, we are not going to going for more details for that. Okay. Yes, if there is no doubt, we'll go for a numerical on based on the diesel cycle. Okay. So all of you are requested to write down this data. An air standard diesel cycle has a compression ratio of 14. Pressure at the beginning of compression stroke is 1 bar. Temperature is 27 degrees centigrade. Maximum temperature in the cycle is 2500 degrees centigrade. Determine the thermal efficiency. We'll stop up to the thermal efficiency only. Determine the thermal efficiency. So this is the given problem statement. Okay. Yes. So it is clearly mentioned that the diesel cycle is there. Compression ratio R is equal to 14. Means what? V1 by V2 is 14. The pressure at the beginning of compression means what? P1, 1 bar, T1, 27 degrees centigrade converted into Kelvin. Maximum temperature in the cycle is 2500 degrees centigrade. At which state point the temperature is maximum? Yes.
T3.
3, sir.
Yes, 3, because after the addition of heat, the temperature is maximum. So T3 is given 2500 converted into Kelvin. Okay. Now here we are not using that formula of 1 minus 1 upon R is to gamma minus 1 into bracket rho minus 1, rho raised to gamma minus 1 divided by gamma into rho minus 1, because the volumes are not given. So instead of that, we are using the basic formula of efficiency, that is heat supplied minus heat rejected divided by heat supplied. Okay. So we have to find out the heat supplied. Now amount of heat supplied is mCp into T3 minus T2. Amount of heat rejected is mCv into T4 minus T1. Okay. So we'll see how to find out the heat supplied and heat rejected. Have you noted the given the state points, temperatures and pressures?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Draw this cycle also because it will help to understand the problem. Okay. So we have formula of heat supplied Qs is equal to mCp into T2 minus T1. Okay, so T3 minus T2. Now if you observe, the mass is not given. So write down, assume mass is equal to 1 kg. Assume mass is equal to 1 kg. Okay. Cp is not given, but we should know what is Cp for air. What is the value of Cp for air? It's 1.003 kilojoule per kg. T3 is given. What is T3? What is T3?
27 degrees Celsius.
2500 degrees
2500
centigrade.
degrees.
2500.
Yeah, thank you.
773 Kelvin.
T2 is not given. T2 दिया नहीं है. Now we have to think how to find out T2. T2 निकालने के लिए क्या डाटा हमें दिया है? अगर T2 आपको निकालना है तो there are two processes. We can use 1 to 2 process or we can use 2 to 3 process, because 2 is the junction of 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. Yes. So to find out T2, what data is given to us? Yes. Anybody?
Through
Yes.
compression ratio.
Yeah, compression. Okay, so compression ratio is given. ठीक है, hello, compression ratio is given. Okay, so that compression ratio we have to utilize to find out the heat supply. ठीक है, okay. Now to find out the heat, there are two approaches are there, so we'll discuss second one also. To find out the heat rejected, so what is the formula? Heat rejected is equal to mCV into 4 minus Q1. Okay,
Sir,
Q1,
screen is not visible.
yeah, yes, I'm sharing. Okay. So now heat rejected is equal to mCV into T4 minus T1. Okay, so we are knowing T1, we have to find out the T4. Directly we can put the values of this heat supplied and heat rejected in the formula. It is mCp into T3 minus T2 is heat supplied, and mCv into T4 minus T1 is heat rejected. Divided by heat supplied is mCp into T3 minus T2. So we'll separate the variables. So here mCp T3 minus T2, mCp T3 minus T2 get cancelled. So we have mCv upon mCv. So Cp upon Cv is gamma. We'll take this Cv on the denominator side. If you take this Cv on the denominator side, it becomes Cp upon Cv. It is gamma. So we have T4 minus T1 divided by gamma into T3 minus T2. Okay, so these are the four terms now we have. Now in this case, we are knowing the T1, we are knowing the T3, we are not knowing T2 and T4. We are not knowing T2 and T4. Now we have to think how to find out T2 and T4. We have to see how to find out T2 and T1. Yes, first how to get the T2. Yes, anybody? Sejal, how to get the T2? Hello?
Using the compression ratio.
Yeah, using the compression ratio, or we have to use the process 1 to 2. So process 1 to 2 is isentropic process. We have to use process 1 to 2, which is isentropic process. We can write the relation between T and V. So we can write T2 by T1 is equal to T2 by T1 is equal to, now we have to take the state point in a cross way, V1 by V2 raised to gamma minus 1. So we have a V1 by V2 as a compression ratio, which is 14. We have been given T1. T1 is 27 degrees centigrade, convert into Kelvin and find out T2. This is our first answer. Yes. Next, how to get T4? It is quite complicated one. To get the T4, we have a T3, and to get T4, we need a, yes, any idea how to get T4? You have to use either process, yes.
Constant volume process.
Yeah, we have to use a constant volume process 1 to 4, or we have to use process 3 to 4. Okay. So if you use a constant volume process, what is the governing law? P by T is equal to constant. Right? So we can write P4 by T1 is equal to P1 by T1. बराबर? P1 पता है, T1 पता है, T4 हमें निकालना है. P4 हमें निकालना है. What about P4? P4 is also not known. How to find out P4 then? Yes, anybody? There are two unknowns, P4 and T4. So we have to get the value of P4. So think how to get P4. अगर P4 निकालना है, तो again we have to use process 3 to 4. उसके लिए फिर you have to find out P3. P3 is given, not given. think how to find out P3. Then you may use the formula P3 V3 raised to gamma is equal to P4 V4 raised to gamma. V4 we have, V4 is equal to V1, but P3 we are not knowing. Again, we go to the process 2 to 3, constant pressure process. So we can write V2 by T2 is equal to V3 by T3. But again, we are not knowing the V2. So to do that, okay. So first what we'll do, we'll find out, already we have found out I think T2. T2 is equal to T1 into V1 by V2 raised to gamma minus 1. First we'll find out the T2. Then using process 2 to 3, V3 by T3 is equal to V2 by T2. So we'll find out the ratio V3 by V2. Okay, because T3 we are knowing, T2 we have find out. We'll find out the ratio V3 by V2. And then we can use the process 3 to 4 again, writing T4 by T3 is equal to T4 by T3 is equal to V3 by V4 raised to gamma minus 1. And we'll write this V3 by V4 in terms of V1 by V2 and V3 by V2. So we will write this as T4 is equal to T3 into bracket V3 by V2 multiplied by V2 by V4. And we can rearrange this in terms of compression ratio and cutoff ratio. So we can rearrange this V3 by V2 as a cutoff ratio and V2 by V1 as a compression ratio, and we'll get the value of T4. Okay. So we'll solve this next problem in the next lecture. We'll solve it in the next lecture. Yes. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir, no doubt.
So if possible, you can take this problem as a homework. तर घरनं तुम्ही सॉल्व करून आणा. घरनं सॉल्व करून आणा. Otherwise, we'll discuss in the next lecture. Okay. ठीक है. So I will circulate the attendance sheet. Just wait for 2 minutes. Okay, use the Google form for the attendance and fill your attendance. In the next lecture, we are going for problem on the diesel engine. So you come for the class with at least pen and paper and with your mobile as a calculator. So if you solve, so you will get a confidence. If it is an online examination, the problems are simple one. But what we are thinking, not we are going to concentrate on the online examination, because in future you have to face the examinations like GATE or any competitive examinations or the technical examinations for the campus interview. So based on that, we are going to solve this problem. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you for patience listening. See you on the Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, sir.